Well, I guess I'm trying to discern exactly where I can apply this. So, for example, I've worked a lot in the disability sector, which is becoming more and more brand focused. So, have you had any experience in doing marketing research with this type of sector? Because you've spoken more about goods types, products and professional services. So that is kind of an area I'll be interested in knowing a bit more about. The other thing is, we did talk about demographics before, and I'm kind of interested in how do you go about doing your research? There was a question in the chat earlier around where the data actually comes from. So you are commissioned by a company to do this research, and then how do you find your customers that you get your insights from?
Sorry, you're talking about the clients, or you're talking about the
I think
people?
she means that
your clients is the company that
right.
is
Okay. So
the
surveys.
How do you then go out to make sure? So you can't just tap into the customers of, of, so to say, for example, the people that this company has on the database, because that's a one-sided view that you will get. So how do you go out to find the people that you need to survey to get a representative sample? I guess that's...
Okay. We have a company called Quality Online Research, which has an online panel. We have a consumer panel and a business panel. So if it's a B2B survey, we will use the business panel. If it's a consumer survey, we will use the consumer panel. The consumer panel are people who have agreed and opted in, double opted in to receive surveys. So if I wanted to do a survey of the general population, 18 to 65, I can select quotas and ensure that gets done within a week. If I wanted to choose a survey for people 18 to 35, or people who are users of premium cars, then I would design the recruitment to include those people, work out how many interviews I want, and send them an invitation to do the survey. And then they would get, in this choice model situation, a set of permutations for them to respond to which of the following would you choose, and go through a whole set of selections.
And do you pay those people?
The industries that you have, would that include disability? Sorry, Ivan.
We do have clients who are in the social and government areas. So yes, we've, one of the surveys, for example, that we've done recently with tens of thousands of people are people in the aged care homes. And we had to combine a study where we included general population with people who are not on panels because they can't use the internet. So we had to do paper surveys and supplement our online surveys with that.
I have an issue with that at the moment. There's a lot of organizations that are still not online.
Right. So in terms of disabilities, it may well be that you have to have somebody who does physical interviewing, face-to-face interviewing, or telephone interviewing.
It's very time consuming, isn't it?
But Claudia, can I just say, thanks for raising that issue, because I talk to a lot of companies and a lot of organizations about understanding the way people think in the world. And I'm constantly having to remind people that 40% of the world's population has no access to the internet.
Yeah, even in Australia.
We
keep thinking that everybody's online. So I work in the transformation space. I'm at the moment engaged in implementing an enterprise resource planning system from a change perspective. And I work closely looking at the culture and adapting the change approach to the culture. So that's the space I'm working in right now. And the company that I'm working in at the moment is called Program. You can see it on my LinkedIn profile. And they're spread across Australia and New Zealand. And we have a huge issue around vendor management, for example, because a lot of the vendors that we use are actually not online. Yeah. So how do you onboard them into a system that depends on, the vendor being online? When actually the people don't have internet, or they are, busy in remote Australia. It's nuts, actually.
I'm going to be cheeky and say, especially in Australia, given the state of NBN.
Yeah.
Be careful, Ern. Don't.
Yeah.
Let's not go down that track. But I'm just applying this, as, I guess, to Brandflows, and I was interested to see how you source your customers. And I'm very happy that you do still the paper-based surveys, because then you can reach into areas where, there is customers, but not necessarily good internet connection. So.